Let's keep going, everybody. So, draft done. We already know we did okay. We didn't win it. But what we do know right now is that we are the worst team in our division. Could this be the chance for us to lock down a number one pick? We are the second worst team in the American League. Granted, tied with the White Sox on 41 wins. So we are a bottom three team in baseball right now. I don't think we'll be able to out-tank the Royals or the Nats. But we're in an interesting spot here. I do want to kind of reorganize the roster just to see what we end up with. How good's the new NCAA be? Cautious optimism. Cautious optimism for that game. All right, so let's see again. We picked up Corey Lee and Austin Wells via trades this year. Really kind of leaves Ronaldo Hernandez on the outs, but he was never going to be the guy. He's just solid. So we're going to put Ronaldo down in AAA with Chavez. Blank is hurt in AA, so that should be fine. How long is Blank out for? 1 to 2 months. Okay, so that should be good. First base. So we got Casas and Cavadas. You got McMahon and Patel, who is hurt. You got Webster in AA. We want Joaquin Navoa in AA. He was a part of the Devers trade. Aside from that, we got a couple of D potential guys who we have on as roster filler. Second base. Nick York is hurt. He's out pretty much for the rest of the season, which is unfortunate. Let's call up Hamilton. Let's call up Hamilton. We'll call up Valdez. And honestly, because of the York injury, let's get Torero in AAA and let Clinton Franks keep playing in double. The one thing I did forget to do at the start of the season was to look at the top prospect list. So we could do that if you guys want to see it, or we can just wait until next season once we obviously add a few more of our guys. Third base, Nolan Jones is here. We can bump up Sogard now. Again, Mayo has to stay. He is getting better. He has to stay on the Major League roster for the rest of the year. So Sogard, hate to say it, I just probably wasted one of your send-downs. Actually, we didn't. It's fine. AAA is Nino Guzman. You got Middleton and Ball in AA. We can have Sogard in triple, though. I mean, it'll take some time away, but let's actually get Mateo in AAA really quickly. Have Guzman in double. It might bounce some people around. Like I said, the roster is currently undergoing some pretty major reconstruction. So it's going to look a little bit wonky for a bit. I still think, though, we're looking okay in terms of the outfield. So in terms of pitching, then 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2. Interesting. Nice to have Bob Asensio there now, though. I'm going to go with 5 or 6. 2, 3, 4, 5. Stick with 5, I think. 2, 3, 4, 5. 1. Let's send Mata down. That's 2, 3, 4, 5. We will have a couple of B-rated guys. We're going to send Mata down to single A because he's just not going to get that much better. Walter as well. You're not going to get that much better, so we can call up Hubbard to triple A. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. We'll leave that for double A. So we do still need to call up one other option for the majors. Maybe we will do 6. Let's add Michael Ellison. Actually, he's already on the 40-man. That's perfect. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. 2, 3, 4. Okay. Congrats to Walter. You're going back to AAA. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There we go. All right. We should be okay. Should be. Rodriguez is already he started the season 5th in the rotation. He is now up to 3rd. Part of it's because Chris Sale is in free fall with his 7.34 ERA. But Roger, we knew he was going to be an ace the second we drafted him. And he's still looking great. And Garrett Whitlock, by the way, his contract's up. My hope is that we can qualify him and get some compensation picks for Garrett Whitlock at the end of the season. And then lineup-wise, we're still looking pretty brutal, which is good. Brutal's the target. So for the record, that top prospect list, Jim Kell is still #1 in baseball. This game loves him. This game loves him. And there's the man who we did not get a chance to draft, but we ended up with Rodriguez instead, Ronan Martin. Fuck. That said, we picked up the #11 prospect in baseball, Bob Asensio. I don't think it counts Rodriguez as a prospect anymore, by the way. But we picked up the #11 prospect in baseball for Rafael Devers. That is not a bad bit of business. Not at all. By the way, the Blue Jays must be playing that other guy because I don't see him. There is Chris Catt up there at #13 for Baltimore. We also have, okay, so Vince Scruggs is currently #27. They realize he's a long shot to develop, but he is making pretty good progress. And Lawrence, our closer, who will be on the Major League roster next year, is also looking good. Honestly, I'm feeling kind of confident now. I think this has gone according to plan. And then we still have Jimmy Denton, who was a mistake to take with that. I think it was the 14th overall pick in our first draft. That was a mistake. Let me go check out Toronto here. They have to be playing him, right? Yeah. Granted, he's struggling in the majors right now, but again, we could have had we could have had Mark Schur, but we went for Jimmy Denton instead. We learned a lesson in our first draft, because imagine we had this guy sitting in the outfield right now. Fucking imagine. But all things considered, I think we've rebounded from that mistake pretty well. And the question now is, how bad will Chris Sale be for the rest of this season? And then we win 5 games in a row. Boys. Stop winning! Why? Every time we get to this point of the season, every time, and I'm like, hey, we might be able to get a high pick, and these fuckers start winning. Every time. There we go. That was better. We did beat the Yankees 12-0. You love to see that. Dude, we get Major League to every season. It's ridiculous. We're 57-80, still in last in the division. There's only 2 teams in the NL that have a worse record than us. All right, so right now our pick would be 5th if the season were to end today, and that's before the lottery. Boys, you need to have a bad September. You need to have a bad September. Please. Please, please, please have a bad September. We're going to call Sogard up. And honestly, now is the time to call up Lawrence. There we go. Stop winning games. Thank you. 62-87. There we go. 64-91. That's a little bit better. There's only 2 teams worse than us in the NL. 2 teams worse than us in the AL. We have to stay bottom 6 to have a lottery chance. AAA Ball Club does not make the playoffs. AA Ball Club in Portland does not make the playoffs. Baltimore kicked the crap out of us. 3 games against Toronto, we swept them. Final 3 games of the season against Baltimore. We're on 67 wins. So we could end up being better than the Brewers. We can't be better than the Mariners. But we can't drop any further. So right now it's between us and Milwaukee for who will have the 5th best odds in the lottery next season. Please lose. Yes. Yes. Please lose. Yes. Okay, we should be good. We do beat Baltimore 68-94 for a 420 points percentage. And we miss out on the playoffs yet again by design. We're not upset about it. Fantastic. So the Orioles and the Rays have made the playoffs. The Yankees and Red Sox, the worst two teams in their division. Crazy. AL Central, the Guardians are back and ready to try and win their third World Series in this franchise's run. The Twins also there. And the Astros, the defending world champions, make it out of the West, as do the Rangers. Rafael Devers and the Angels did not make the playoffs. Damn. So 68 wins. The Royals were worse than us, as were the White Sox. That was it. NL East, the Braves win it, but the Marlins, Mets, and Phillies all made the playoffs, and the Nationals only won 47 games. All right, then. That's just absurd. That is absurd, isn't it? NL Central, the Reds beat the Cubs by a game, and the Dodgers handily win the NL West. Wow. So, again, 68 wins. Only the White Sox, Royals, Nationals, and Pirates were worse. But we will have, at the very least, a top 6 pick. And we have the top 5 odds to try and move up. So, pretty good. Pretty good. To take a look at the team. Let's see. So, catcher-wise, I mean, Hernandez isn't that bad at the plate. I'm trying to justify it. He's pretty shit. Hernandez, he's not good at the plate whatsoever. Corey Lee took off in overall. Jesus Christ. Why? Dude, he skyrocketed in overall the second we acquired him. I'm going to guess he was a part of a platoon in Houston. And the second he gets here as a full-time starter, just skyrockets. Austin Wells didn't play much, but when he did at the plate, he wasn't that bad. And again, he'll be our second-choice catcher unless we try to move Corey Lee for a decent return. First base, Tristan Casas, 21 home runs, 727 OPS. Not bad. Not bad. And up to an 80 overall is Casas, so still looking pretty good. Manuel Valdez ended up playing at second. 722 OPS. He was okay. I mean, he's just he's a role player. Nolan Jones. Not great, nor was Kobe Mayo, although he did go up by like 3 points this year. And then Sogard didn't get to play much, but he was pretty hot when he did. Shortstops, Marcelo Meyer, 19 home runs on the year, 698 OPS, so a little bit weaker at the plate, but we know he's a defensive first shortstop. I mean, yeah, 445 assists on the season, only 5 errors, a 3.3 WAR. Yeah, no, Meyer's great. I'm very happy with him. Miguel Dew didn't really get to play in the outfield. Jarren Duran actually got it done at the plate. Victor Mesa Jr., Mitchell. I mean, Mitchell has a cannon of an arm. So, and then in right, Miguel Blay. 656 OPS. He was okay. He, again, is defense first. So, starting pitchers, the winningest starting pitcher on the roster, and now an 80 overall, Roger Rodriguez. My goodness. Would I say I'm harsher on NHL games than other sports? Of course. Of course. It's my favorite sport. It's the game I know the most about. It's also the franchise that needs the most work. That's right. Madden franchise is better than NHL. I said it. It's not even close, actually. Sub 4 ERA for Rodriguez. I don't know if he would have won Rookie of the Year, but he might be in contention. Whitlock was phenomenal. And again, if it lets us qualify him, I think we will get compensation picks for Garrett Whitlock, which is great. Kai Bush was tragic. Brian Bayo was tragic. Chris Sale. In terms of being an ace, that ship has sailed. And then Michael Ellison. Only pitched 25 innings, but yeah, not so hot. Not so hot. Relievers, it's just a bunch of veterans, and outside of John Schreiber, you know, am I enjoying the early days of MLB? 100%. I was disappointed there wasn't more. Hey, they did something. I'll take it. It's a start, right? It's a start. They finally showed this mode just even the slightest bit of attention. Like, I'm not saying like, oh, yes, they don't have to do anything for years now. No, they got to keep following up. But they finally said like, yeah, we'll throw these fuckers a bone. So I am trying to enjoy it. Can you find faults? Of course. The trade logic is still pretty shit when you're using the trade finder. But, you know, enjoying it for what it is. Shout out to Marcelo Meyer, though. Very good season for him. So, league leaders? Let's just go awards. Let's find out. So, Juan Soto, back-to-back AL MVPs. Devers finished in third. Oh, Devers. I miss him already, but again, at 29 years old, he just doesn't fit into the window for this team. He doesn't. Jordan finished second. NL MVP, Bryce Harper. His replacement, Brian Reynolds. I saw Philadelphia in outfield. I'm like, Bryce Harper. No, it's not. It's Brian Reynolds. The Pennsylvania Trader, Brian Reynolds. Shout out to Brian Reynolds winning MVP, though, in this. Over Pete Alonso and Ronald Acuna as well. Cy Young in the NL goes to Shohei Ohtani of the Atlanta Braves. That is very weird to say as he finishes ahead of Blake Snell and Zach Gallen. The AL side of things, Corbin Burns wins his second straight Cy Young over DeGrom and Christian Javier. Batting title in the AL goes to Juan Soto. You had Rutschman and Jimenez up there. NL, it goes to Ty France over Miguel Fabregas. Jesus, look at the contact. No wonder why. Holy shit. I was going to say, he was just drafted. And Ronald Acuna. Reliever of the year in the National League goes to Alzolay, who, 52 saves. De Los Santos had 41. Yeah. I mean, Seawald struck out 67 people, but damn. AL-wise, it is Devin Williams. I think Karinchak probably deserved it. 4 fewer saves, but look at the strikeouts, the ERA. Reliever of the year always seems to be determined in a weird way. In a weird way. Rookie of the year on the NL side, Mike Martinez. And we knew it was going to be him. Again, that was the Reds pick. He's an 85 already. The best player we've ever seen drafted. Again, we didn't have a chance at him. He was selected 1 or 2 picks before we would have even had a shot at him last year. Holy shit, dude. This guy's going to be the best player in baseball. Fabregas was second, Juan Correa. AL-wise, come on. Not even a finalist? Are you out of your mind? Oh, that's some horse shit. Oh, Luis Medina wins it. Kyle Manzardo, his teammate, and Alex DeJesus. 26-year-old Luis Medina. 3.50 ERA. And 176 strikeouts. He did have a 390. I mean, I guess, but let me be a homer and say, damn it. It should have been me. All right, well, let's finish up the awards, and I mean, that's pretty much it. Hank Aaron goes to Juan Soto and Ronald Acuna. So, wild cards, Twins, Rays, Orioles, Rangers with Cleveland and Houston waiting. On the NL side, it is the Marlins and Mets, Reds, and Phillies with the Braves and Dodgers waiting. Let's see how this goes. Sox, hello. So we'll sim the week. So it ends up being Tampa, Cleveland, Texas, and Houston, Miami and Atlanta, Philadelphia, and LA. Sim another week. Tampa and Texas. The two higher seeds are knocked out, including the last three World Series winners between Cleveland and Houston. Miami and LA on the other side as Ohtani and the Braves fall again. LFC as well. How are you? And yeah, Rodriguez did pretty damn well. He's almost our highest rated pitcher already. It's crazy. Wow. Who's going to make the World Series? Texas and Miami. Wow. Wouldn't have predicted that based off of how these past few seasons have gone. 2026 World Series, Rangers and Marlins. Let's get a look at the Rangers here. Led by Alexis Diaz as their closer, Corey Seager. Nate Lowe is still there. Jackson Holiday has developed. I mean, it's not a bad team. I mean, Jake DeGrom's ancient at this point. Not a bad team, but hardly an amazing team. Dude, the Marlins, that's right. The Marlins had that crazy offseason. Picking up Bo Bichette, Kyle Tucker, Marcus Semien, and here they are in a World Series. I forgot all about that offseason until I thought about their roster. They went all in this prior offseason, and they immediately make it to a World Series, but will they win it? Miami's up 3-2. The Miami Marlins, for the third time in their franchise's history, have won the World Series. That is that's kind of crazy. That's kind of crazy for them to just be like, money. Like they literally just bought a World Series. They literally just bought a World Series. That's amazing. Yu Chang was World Series MVP. I directly helped the Marlins win the World Series. We traded Yu Chang to the Marlins to make room for Meyer at shortstop, and he immediately won World Series MVP. Oh my God. Oh my God. He had an 833 OPS in the regular season too. He fucking killed it for them. I mean, he struck out a lot, but regular season and playoffs, he was a big time asset for them. Yu Chang wins World Series MVP for Miami. I can't believe it. I mean, it was his second season there since we traded him. I mean, last year he only played in 62 games, but I mean, you know, he was just a hell of a lot better for them than he was for us. That's for sure. Good for him. The Miami Marlins, world champions for the third time. As we get ready for an off season, Liam Hendricks, Caleb Thielbar are gone, which is fine. Oh, not Chase Sugart. Dale Lemon. Chase Selesky. Oh, Kutch. I wonder if he'll make the Hall of Fame, but Andrew McCutcheon's gone. Jacob Stallings? I guess he is 37. Anybody else? No Hall of Fame inductees for the second year in a row. Okay. So, we need a hitting coach and a third base coach. Richie Bennett's the guy. I don't care about bunting. Richie, come on down, buddy. And it was third base, right? Not first base, yeah. Third base coach. Brett Pepper's a great name. It's a great name. So is Magruder, for that matter. Is there anybody without any minuses? Chris Hook. Send Hook to third base. I'll pay him $1.5 million a season to do it. So the exclusive free agents. I am going to qualify Garrett Whitlock. If I can get something for him, cool. If I can't, whatever. He's 30 years old. Again, we still have a young team. I have a feeling we'll be able to get compensation picks for Garrett Whitlock. John Schreiber. I doubt we get compensation picks for him, but I am going to try. And if he comes back for $21 million, then so be it. Again, Whitlock, Schreiber will probably get compensation. We got a better chance for Whitlock. Chris Sale, our tank commander. How did you not retire after the worst season of your career? The damage you just did to your career ERA is staggering. He wants $5.6 million. He actually wants more because he wants to play for a contender. Jesus. I am not paying Chris Sales $6 million. It's time to say goodbye, my friend. Thank you for helping us secure a lottery pick. He's got one more in him. What's the roster? If Whitlock goes 2, it's Rodriguez, Bayo, Bush, Ellison, Walter. I mean, maybe Sale is the tank commander. If Whitlock leaves 2, Bayo, Rodriguez, Bush, Ellison, Walter, and a few other guys in contention, including Hubbard and maybe even Bob Asensio. Do we bring back the tank commander? Fine. 1-year deal. This year we had the 10th pick. Rotation. $6.9 million. If he doesn't accept $6.9 million, then he doesn't deserve to be a meme on this team. That's up to him. Ball's in his court. Thank you. Garrett Whitlock, again, you're good, man, but you're 30. You're 30. And we're not quite there yet. We still need a couple of years to get some other players developing. But he's close. Again, the picks for Whitlock would be more valuable. And if he stays, then cool, he stays. Bennett elected to go to the Mets. Bastard. I needed you. That was just the hitting coach offer, right? Damn it. He was the best option. Massey, you're kind of a waste. Peter Crosby. Peter Crosby. I'll give you $2 million a year, buddy. Just sign here, please. All right, Crosby does sign. And we move on to the next stage of free agency. So in terms of free agents, top starting pitchers, Brady Singer, Tariq Skubal, Tristan McKenzie. Unfortunately, Whitlock's in that second tier. We might not get an offer for him. He doesn't have an immediate offer, unlike some of these other guys. It's a bit scary. Top relievers, Garrett Crochet. Honestly, I wouldn't mind sending an offer for him. Munoz is 28. You got Evan Phillips. Honestly, really quickly. It's a very strong market for pitchers. There's no starting pitchers we want, except for Swervin. There's no starting pitchers that we'd want. And Chris Sale. Clayton Kershaw. Are there any prospects? Bobby Sparbori. Let's go for you. Might have to free up some roster spots, but in terms of relievers, man, there's some decent young relievers in that mix. And again, they'd make the team probably a bit too good, but damn, wouldn't they be nice additions? Wouldn't they be nice additions? Colin McHugh's real. Chris Martin's real and old as hell. Aaron Loop, Hudson, Bass, they're all real. Okay, so no real relievers there. Is this year 5? Yeah, 2026. I think this was season 4. $12 million a year. Is it the right time to improve our bullpen? I don't know if it is. I wish I had this offseason next year. And then in terms of relievers or outright closers, do we have anybody here? Marcell Iglesias, Presley's real. Yeah. I'm going to think about that. I mean, Garrett makes the most sense because he's not on a qualified deal. The other two are. Honestly, we might have to go for Garrett. He's only 27. He's not on a qualified deal. I don't know if we can get a reliever like that again. I think we have to go for him. I think we do. 8-year deal brings him up to 35. Give him a player option towards the end. He wants to be the closer. We can backload it. Actually, in fairness, we might want to front load it because we got the money now. It'll save money for our other players. About $11.5 million a year. I might go for it. I'm going to look around elsewhere. Top catcher, Tyler Stevenson. Kirk's there. Real Muto. Obviously, none of these guys kind of fit what we're looking for. I mean, Kirk at 28, kind of, but again, we got Corey Lee as well, and we'd have to make a move there and just, yeah. And since I'm not initiating trade offers, that doesn't make any sense. Why the hell was Jorge Alfaro qualified? What the hell? What is going on? All right, so no catchers. First base, Nate Lowe is the top option. Rowdy's out there too. Do we have any prospects? Brandon Belt, Jose Abreu, Joey Votto is hanging around. There's only nobody at first base. AJ, what's up? Things are going well. 21 overall, Edgar Franco. Jesus. I didn't know it could go that low. Second baseman, Jimenez, Gavin Lux. Again, Lux just doesn't fit what we're looking for right now. We have Nick York. Arroyo, who we let go of. But Merrifield's real. There don't appear to be that many players. There is Brian Delgado. He snuck through. We'll look at him. Trevor Langley, who's a 27. Top third baseman, Alec Boehm's there. Urias. Again, any prospects that snuck through? Obviously, Segura's real. Dave Cole, who we were looking at. I'm going to sign him for the hell of it. Otherwise, he'll just rot away on the free agent list. Also, 28-year-old Kenny Green, who's a 33. And Caballero, who's a 28. Where the hell are these guys coming from? Top shortstop. Wow, it is not a shortstop market. Tim Anderson and J.P. Crawford. That is not a shortstop market. Trying to fight off the sneeze. I'm going to lose. I lost. I lost badly. We can't play the show on the cloud this year. I never tried last year, in fairness. But for those that did, I can see how that would be a bummer. Decent outfield class. Nobody for us. But a decent little outfield class. Are there any prospects who fell through? Again, the fact you still can't sort by potential is a huge, huge negative for me. Jazz is out there, the cover boy. It's 29 though already. 29's incredibly young, I swear. It is. Don't call him old. Shout out to Rudolph. And then on right, Adolis Garcia is the top option. Can you believe someone got Jeter from a Jeter pack? Can't believe it. Can't believe it. Doesn't look like there are too many prospects that kind of fell through the cracks here. Trey Cabbage is a great name, though. 32-year-old George Rodriguez. All right, so the Garrett offer is the interesting one. Again, 27 years old. Are we going to be able to find a better reliever in the future? Like, that's trying to future-proof the team a little bit. And then, yeah, we already looked at starters. So really quickly, let me go through the roster just to make sure I don't run into the, hey, you have too many people signed. Thorne did not improve at all, so we can drop him. Holcomb didn't really improve at all in terms of potential either. Nor did Saccone or Benedict Mercer. So we can go with that. So free agency, we should be okay. We do have contracts that we got to figure out. Not worried about either guy on the 40-man. And then arbitration. Let's handle arbitration first because we have a lot of arbitration-eligible players. So Brian, we're going to go 3 years at $3 million for you. And hopefully that works. Louie, what's going on? Good to see you. Kai Bush. 3 years at 2.5. Again, I'm a little bit concerned about him, but hey, we got the money. Honestly, there's all these veterans that we signed just to fill out the bullpen. I'm going to bring them back again because otherwise we just need random free agents. So we'll go 2.1 for Mr. Santana. Martin, we'll go 930K for you. Dakota Hudson, 1 year at 1.8. That's fine by me. If you want to go to arbitration, we can. And then Colin, it's 1 year at 930 as well. But again, we just need random people to fill out the bullpen because otherwise it's a bunch of 50s. Corey Lee, 2 years. Okay. Honestly, we might only have him until he's 30. 2 years at $3.4 million, and then he's going to want the big bucks. And that'll be the time where we have to decide if he's the guy. We got $3.4 million for him. Tristan, 4 years at 3.2 is a steal for Tristan Casas. An absolute steal. Nico, I mean, you're a good depth first baseman. 1.5's not too bad for 3 years. Go ahead and offer you that. So it's weird that we're actually spending money again. Jarren Duran. It's worth keeping you for a little bit. 62 fielding is still generous, but we'll keep you for a little bit until we see how the outfield sorts itself out. And that's it for arbitration. Everybody else, we definitely want to keep Austin Wells. 3 years at 780 is not that bad. It's not that bad at all. I'm gonna go with real because I can sit here and think of 7 different ways to think of saying that name. I got to be honest. But what's going on? You're just in time for the most boring part of any franchise, having to send 1,000 options. Where's base running opportunity settings? It should just be there. Trying to think how to describe it. Can I look at it from here? Settings, user settings, gameplay. Said base running opportunities. Yeah. So go to settings. Hit right bumper, not right bumper, but LBRB. And that's where you get to all those extra settings. If that doesn't answer your question, let me know. Could also be in mode specific if it's for Road to the Show, which I mean is what you're asking about. So worth checking there too. Future don't offer arbitration at the same time as any for you. Isn't the best use of funds. It's not, but it saves time. It's not, but it saves time. So yeah, mode-specific options then is your best bet for that. I can dip back into it real quick if you need me to. Oh God, for base run. I mean, I can't. In fairness, I can't look it up since I'm in franchise because it's franchise, not Road to the Show. I'm switching to Road to the Show soon, but it's in one of those two spots. We got to re-sign Allman here too, but yeah. So I mean, catcher again. I know it's not the best use for it. At the same time, though, it saves time, which is nice. Because in a way, it's like, well, this is probably the most boring part of every season, right? Big Nate, the 23 months. Nate, how the heck are you tonight? Thank you very much for supporting my face. I hope you are well. I hope you are well. Send Randy for 10 years. Who the fuck is Randy? Who the fuck is Randy? Like, who the fuck is Randy? That's what I call Roger. Get the fuck out. Get out of here with that nonsense. Hey, sign Randy. I know his name's Roger, but I'm going to call him Randy. The fuck is that? What the fuck? Oh, God. This chat sometimes, I swear to God. Let's go 1 year at 1.1 for Jones. Not too worried about him being too pricey. Mateo got worse. I was hoping his potential would go up. It didn't. So I'm probably just going to let you go if you're outright regressing. Mr. Mayo. Oh, Mr. Mayo is a great name. Let's go 3 years at 780. Nino Guzman. I'll have to pay you a little bit. Mr. Middleton. And Chauncey Ball does not look like he went up all that much. We got Gio Conrad. James Nunn. Richardson's not that hot, but we'll keep him. Lawson was getting better despite being a D potential. So for that reason, I'm going to hold on to him. Left field, Prado, we'll pay you more. Grant Harris is only a 57. Mike Dennis is only a 54. Rafaela will go 1 year at 800K. It's quick and easy. Clace got a little bit better, but he is 24. Shout out to Merrill Shavitz. It's a great name. Keep paying some of these lower dudes just to hope for the best. Kevin Edwards. Rodriguez also has the D potential, but he did improve. Got Vinny Scruggs still. Saucedo improved, so we'll keep him around. Hernandez improved, we'll keep him around. We do have the pitchers, but there's something about... who the hell was I looking for? Mateo. It's just weird that he regressed. I'm going to keep him for one more season. I just got a hunch he might go to C potential. Lawrence, 3 years at 780. That is a steal. Feltman, we got to keep you. 1 year at 790. Luis Oviedo, 1 year at 800. That's a steal. Jacob Webb, you're pretty shit, but still, we'll hold on to you. Tupman, hold on to you. Corey Lutz. Benedict technically got better, but, well, I guess he got better. We'll bring him back. Tavares got better. Jimenez got better. Howell got worse, so we'll let him go. Rodriguez, I'm going to go to in a minute. Bart Mays, who was a high draft pick for us previously, not like super high, but got to hold on to him. All of these dudes with a bit of potential. Asensio, I'm still very excited about. Jimmy Denton's getting closer to Major League ready. We'll pay Mata that renewable deal. Antoine Hubbard. Willie Napier. How are you getting worse as a 37? He plays more Fortnite than Patrick Laine. Pay Nick McFarland. Get Walter on a 4-year deal. Ooh, Walter's 30. Yeah, he can be a depth guy for us. We'll get Walter for about $800K, $850 for the next 4 years. And then the big man. We got him for 5 years before he's going to command $35 million. Yeah, catcher, your fucking 10-year plan's out the window, champ. Guess what? Old Randy Rodriguez already wants all the fucking money. Jesus. We'll go 2 years renewable at 800. That's not even bad. It's not, but don't worry about it. He's going to be expensive no matter when the time comes. Don't you worry about it. Chris Hook is on as our third base coach. Tyler Stevenson goes to Baltimore. Fucking Baltimore. Jesus. Dude, they're going to be a buzzsaw. Like an absolute buzzsaw by the time we start to break through. Ugh. Man, they're going to be a problem. They're going to be a big problem. Alejandro Kirk is off to the Cardinals. 6-year deal for the 28-year-old. Garrett Whitlock is back. No. As is John Schreiber. So no compensation picks for us. Whitlock and Schreiber are both back. Damn it. Damn it, damn it. Honestly, I'm going to add Jacob Webb to the 40, man. Not worried about Clace. We're still waiting for Duran and Martin. And then we have a couple other dudes that we're still waiting for, but all the big contracts are signed. In terms of free agency, did we get those guys? I think we did. Actually not sure if we got those guys or not. Nope, Sabori's in there. Delgado, Cole. Okay, I think we got him, which is good. Tariq Skubal on his way to the Dodgers for 5 years. All right. Still waiting for Duran, Martin. Got Walter, Mayo, and Dennis. We are still waiting for. We have until December 2nd for them. We can go to the next deadline here a few days away. Freddie Peralta on his way to Cleveland. Jesus. I mean, they already have Corbin Burns, too. Cleveland's ridiculous. Tristan McKenzie going to Milwaukee as they find their Corbin Burns replacement. Duran is still holding out. Walter and Mayo. It's the last two holdouts. Evan Phillips, 86 overall. Closer goes to Arizona. And we are good. It's just Duran that we're waiting for. So we're okay. JT Realmuto on his way to San Diego for a year. As is Randy Arozarena. He's actually going for 3 years, signed at $9 million. All right. So yeah, Duran's the only holdout. Padres are making moves. They acquired Tyler O'Neill for Rafael Antigua, and Bryce Staples. So the Padres could be this year's Miami. Gonsolin's on his way to the Cardinals. Andreas Jimenez, the second baseman, on his way to the Reds. And we got our reliever. That's the first big free agent I've bothered to bring in. Like I said, it's not going to be a full draft of glory. It's more of a build through the draft. But we have a dominant reliever for the next 8 years until he's 35, which is good. The rest of the bullpen, Jazz goes to Hollywood. The rest of the bullpen's not quite there yet as to where he'll make us too good, which is nice. So, but yeah, Jazz is on his way to the Dodgers. 6-year deal, almost max. Brady Singer went to the Giants. 6-year deal for him. California teams are going for it. Holy hell. California teams are going for it. We get to the Rule 5 draft. Dalton Varsho also goes out to San Francisco. And we have the 5th pick in the Rule 5. 30-year-old Peter Solomon was picked up by Washington. Do we have anybody interesting here? At catcher, not really. First base, I mean, Wilfred Veras, 24C and a 70. That's not that bad. 24C and a 72. Ian Lewis at second base is a little bit better. Although, again, the plan is to play Nick York. So Lewis doesn't really help. Like, he is in direct competition with Nick York. But first base wide for Veras, I mean, it would just be sending Cavadas down. Look at Johnny McMahon, by the way, up to a 68. Damn. So honestly, the second base options aren't that bad, but they compete with who we already have. Cody, take it easy, man. They compete with who we already have with York. So we don't need anybody else there, and we already have depth. First base, we could pick different depth, but we're already paying Nico, so why bother? Third base, we already have depth. Probably too much depth. So there's really not much that we need there. Shortstop. We could get a little bit of depth from Meyer. We do have Lugo, but 23-year-old Tucker Tolman isn't that bad. He'd be my choice so far. 23C and a 72. In the outfield, nothing. Nothing. And a whole bunch of nothing. What about pitchers? Anything decent? Not looking like it. Whoops. Well, let's scroll back through. Yeah, not looking like it. I have Beck away, but he's not better than who we already have. Yeah, there's going to be nobody for us for starters. Outright closers. It's really not much. I think the only guy that we're going to pick up is that shortstop. Because we already have a bunch of relievers. We could technically pick up these two and send down the others. Let's pick up Tucker Tolman at shortstop. A little bit of depth for us in that position. And let's also go for Genesis Cabrera. Kind of take those best overall pitchers. Nope. Okay, full 40 man. Well, there we go then. Got a shortstop. Got a reliever. Not bad. Andres Munoz on the move again. He goes to Milwaukee. The Brewers are making moves. And, man, California. California's going nuts. Giolito also going to the Giants. Brock Burke goes to the... Man, it's a fucking arms race between the California teams right now. Luis Garcia on his way to the Twins. AJ Minter acquired by the Mariners from the Astros for Jake Shiner, Abraham Alfonso, and Matt Hinojosa. Yeah, it's a pretty good deal for the Mariners, to be honest. Another trade, okay. Rangers get Brandon Woodruff from the Brewers for Dustin Harris and prospect Robert Culver, who was pretty good. Interesting. The Brewers would get a starter, trade a starter. Padres with another signing. This is insane. Oh, good. They got Patrick Sandoval, too. This is insane. California teams, man. Finally, there's the last one. I was going to say except for Oakland, and right as I said it, they signed Gavin Lux. Even Oakland's getting involved. Trevor Rogers going to the Diamondbacks. Ian Happ to Pittsburgh. Willingly? And that should bring us to spring training. Jaron Duran's going to get paid $1.9 million. because they sided with us. Very good. And then Genesis Cabrera. Drew Rasmussen on his way to the Twins. The Twins have made a couple of moves here too. And that finally brings us to the start of spring training. Bit of a longer off season. Again, we'll do the same thing. I'll come back tomorrow with the roster more filled out. But look at this. I mean, because of the addition of Corey Lee and Austin Wells, we might be okay. We still don't really have that go-to catcher in the system. We can look at the top prospect list tonight. We still don't really have that top catcher in the system to replace Lee, Wells, Hernandez. It might be Eric Blank, but we probably still need a top catcher if there's one available. First base, I still say we're good. Between Tristan Casas and then Johnny McMahon starting to develop pretty well, I'd say we're good at first base. We got a couple of other pieces in the mix there too. And somehow Bill Patel is still on the list. And of course, the list can change at the start of the season compared to start of spring training. Second base, we have Nick York. Torrero's still in the system. I don't think we need... I don't necessarily think we need a second baseman. We could always look. Third base, David Chen. I mean, we're probably going to play him this year. We probably are. Probably be him and... I don't know, it might be Mateo on the roster or Mayo again, but honestly, third base wise, we might want to look for an insurance policy. I mean, but down here, Nate Logan, Chauncey Ball, so we'll see. Meyer at shortstop, so we're great. We're great when it comes to shortstops. We're fine. Outfield, still a pretty big area of concern. Again, we got a couple of veterans that we've acquired through one way or another, but outfield is still the big need. Mainly left field and center. Because we do have Blay on the right, and then Vince Scruggs trying to develop there too. Starting pitchers. Whitlock is back. Bayo's there. Roger Rodriguez. Chris Sale's back. He did accept that deal. So starting pitching will actually be half decent. Bullpen as well is going to be looking okay, especially after signing Garrett there. So I'm pretty happy about that. And then Lawrence will be on the roster this season too. So honestly, I mean, granted, the team's not fully set. I do think we're going to be okay. And Doug Brown is listed as the third best prospect in baseball heading into spring training. Not bad. We also have number 11, Bob Asensio. Scruggs at 13. Anybody else on the list for us? Wow, former number 1 pick Taylor Sinclair. I mean, he's listed down, but I mean, he's not going to be a prospect anymore. I'm sure he's going to make their roster. Chris Cutler for the Orioles. Dude, the Orioles are on this list so much. So much. And Andreas Lawrence is there too, even though, again, he'll be off the list very soon. So we're looking good. We're looking good. We have a lottery pick in the next draft. I think we might be starting to turn the corner. We do still need a few pieces here and there, but we are starting to turn that corner where now if we can just get these prospects to develop and fill those gaps, future's looking promising again in Boston.